Hi, folks. I hope you're well. So, okay, from the thing yesterday, from the fact that that message yesterday was a week away from their vision. Yeah, you have to go to church with zero expectation. Zero. You don't expect anything, and then whatever you get is, well, hopefully it'll be positive. Well, as I said, because you're a week away from giving your vision, and someone brings a message about John 13 where the Son of God is humbling himself to that degree, like a servant, like the lowest servant, and washing the feet of his disciples, saying we need to do that, but there's no bowl of water, there's no towel around your waist. And again, I don't know. Maybe they asked God, can we do that? And God said no. Maybe she asked the pastors, can I do that? The pastor said no. But from my understanding, it's pretty likely that no one was asked, that there was no intention to actually do that. Pretty likely because of my experience in churches. People read stuff and they want to talk the good talk, but actually walking the good walk is a far more difficult thing to do. And there's often no attempt to walk it, just an attempt to talk it. So again, that it may be unfair judging this lady Kimberly on that, because that may not have been her. I don't know. And I'm debating whether or not I should ask her about it, because again, people get offended when you ask them about stuff like that, don't they? So therefore, again, is it worth it? Do I need to know the answer? And the answer to that one is no, I don't. I don't need to know the answer as to that, because it's pretty much irrelevant, isn't it, really, what the answer is now? That meeting's gone now. The opportunity to walk out what it said is gone. Well, it is really. So, but again, that's the thing. I suppose, really, when it comes down to it, that was part of the difficulty of that yesterday, is that, it's just that point where, had it been God leading, God in control, there would have been a bowl of water, there would have been a towel around the person's waist, ready to wash feet. And there wasn't. And again, but that's what you expect with church, isn't it, really? Where they talk a good talk, but there's no desire to actually walk it. And that's always going to be disappointing when you come across that. Well, especially when there's an opportunity to humble yourself. And in many ways, to humble the people getting their feet washed. Because if you think you've got dirty feet, you're not going to want to go forward to get your feet washed, are you? And okay, we wouldn't have had as dirty a feet as the disciples would have had. No. But, some people have quite smelly feet, and we don't really want to be taking our shoes and socks off, that close to someone else's face, do we? Or nose. So I get that some people wouldn't particularly want that, but in the end, we are where we are, aren't we? So I wish them well, but again, I don't know. It is what it is. So I suppose for myself, it's more the point I'm just going to be mindful that if I'm in a position where I ever talk about that subject, I need to have a bowl of water and a towel around my waist. I need to be willing, whatever I read in the Word of God, I need to be willing to walk it out rather than just talk it, because we have enough of the just talk it. And this is what I was saying previously. Come on, It's like it was 30 years ago. People wanting to talk it but not walk it. And that's the point, really. When it comes down to it, it's... we haven't learned. We haven't really moved forwards. We still seem to be in the same as we were then. And it's... yeah. It's disappointing. Because, we could do better. And if we could do better, we should be doing better. And that's just another perfect example where, of course, we could do better. We could have the bowl of water, couldn't we? We could have that quite easily. Yes. We could have someone towards the end of the service, because they have boiling water, they have cold water. They could easily do that, yes. They could. They have a sink and stuff like that. They could easily do that. But, yeah. Again, even in churches that don't have a sink, could you do that? Yes, you could. You could do that, yes. You could bring a kettle, and you can have a kettle full of water, and you can have some cold water in a bottle, in a large bottle, and you can make sure that you had a bowl full of water that is a good warm temperature to be washing people's feet. You could do that quite easily if you wanted to. It's about wanting to, really. It's about, do you want to walk it out? Or do you just want to talk it? And that's the thing. So, in the end, I'll leave it to it. You take care. God bless. Be walkers, not talkers. Bye-bye.